Welcome back to another week of MMORPG's Top 5. Here's what you need to know. Number 5. Cyberpunk 2077 is heading to Google Stadia. In their most recent episode of Night City Wire, CD Projekt Red announced that Cyberpunk 2077 will indeed arrive on Stadia next month on November 19th, alongside the releases on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, saying, quote, "Huge in scale and scope, Cyberpunk 2077 is our most ambitious game to date. It's humbling to see just how many people are looking forward to playing it, and we want to make it possible for as many gamers as possible come November 19th when the game launches. The Stadia version will allow players to jump into Night City just seconds after the game unlocks for play worldwide without any downloads needed." End quote. Number 4. As Avengers player counts dwindle, Crystal Dynamics commits to more communication. Player numbers for Marvel's Avengers have dropped off dramatically ever since its release just last month. As of this recording, there are only roughly 2,000 players in a 24-hour peak. To that end, Crystal Dynamics have promised additional content such as a new Warzone mission, a new outpost, and more. They also took to Reddit to assure fans of better communication moving forward. Quote, "We intend to increase communication by hosting weekly Q&As and dev live streams, which we hope to kick off after an upcoming State of the Game blog that will answer a bunch of questions for you." End quote. Number 3. Star Citizen's Chris Roberts says the Squadron 42 still has a ways to go before beta. Star Citizen recently hit Alpha 3.11, but that hasn't stopped fans and backers from questioning the progress of Squadron 42, the single-player campaign of the larger Star Citizen universe. Chris Roberts published a letter from the chairman outlining, among other things, Squadron 42. Notably, people were frustrated with his response, which prompted Roberts to reply directly, where he pointed to an upcoming roadmap. Quote, "The new roadmap will show just how we are doing towards that goal, and as we get closer to the end, it will be more accurate, but it will never be a perfect crystal ball of the future, as there is always a certain amount of unpredictability in game development, especially when the game is hugely ambitious and has a very high quality bar." End quote. He continued, quote, "We still have a ways to go before we are in beta, but everyone on Squadron 42 is working very hard to deliver something great." End quote. Number 2. EVE Online's Quadrant 4. CCP has upset the order of New Eden with its latest Quadrant update of 2020. Titled Phoenix, the new update brings with it massive changes to the EVE Online universe, completely changing how players traverse the star systems of New Eden, as well as capping off the Triglavian Collective's invasions of the systems. 27 systems are now locked out of known space in the region of Pochven, requiring standing with the Triglavians as well as the special filaments to travel between K-space and T-space, as it's now being called by some Capsuleers. As a result, the Triglavian invasion has irrevocably changed the landscape of New Eden, forcing Capsuleers to find new trade routes, and even stranding some Capsuleers behind the now dismantled gate system. How New Eden's residents will ultimately react over time to this new normal remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, it's never a dull moment in EVE Online. And number 1, the Shadowlands pre-patch is live. The long-awaited pre-patch for World of Warcraft Shadowlands is now live, having released on Tuesday after some long maintenance. The pre-patch covers off a ton of new updates and changes, including the Death Rising event, levels, items and stats adjustments, new character customization, a new starting experience, and much more. As a reminder, Shadowlands was delayed out of October to released sometime later this year, but we don't know the exact date. And while you wait, be sure your add-ons are managed properly for this pre-patch to avoid any compatibility frustrations down the line. And there you have it. Those are your top 5 articles for our MMORPG.com this week. Be sure to click subscribe and ring the bell to be notified when the next video drops. And for all your MMO and RPG news, check out MMORPG.com.